Shenanigans. Hello and welcome to Gaming Shenanigans. My name's Phil and here today I'm going to be showing you the Surface Pro 8, the unboxing, what comes with it and some of the accessories I have recently just purchased for it. Right, so I've gone for the version of the Surface Pro 8, the 11th gen Intel Core i7 with 16 gig of RAM and 256 gig SSD. And I've gone for the Platinum. Right, so let's see how we open this beastie. Right, there's a pull tag here. As we can see, it's easy to get into, which is nice. Makes it quick and easy. Right. So, give this a little shake here, get it open. So he says, and it's not even opening. It's opening on one side. There we go. Right. So as you can see, there's the Surface Go itself. Surface Pro, I mean, sorry. And we just open it up like that. It's quite heavy, quite a good weight, which I like the feel of. I don't like the smaller ones. It's my first Surface I've actually ever purchased. I've looked at previous ones before. I've borrowed the Surface Go from work, and that was okay. I played a little game on it, Football Manager, just to see what it was like. That's one of the reasons that it's encouraged me to go for the Surface Pro itself. I also want to be able to do some drawing, which I will look at later on in time. I wanted to get the Slim Pen too, but I couldn't afford it at that moment in time. Right, so you've got another nice little pull tag here to open up the packaging for the Pro. It just feels really nice. Doesn't look cheap or tacky, which you wouldn't expect for the amount you pay for these, but it just feels so nice. And as you can see there, you got front facing camera, which is 5 megapixels and shoots at 1080p, and you've got the studio microphones on the front there. And then on the back here you got the rear facing camera, which is 4K at 10 megapixels. And then on the sides here you got your little volume rocker, and then you've also got your 3.5mm jack for your headphones. These do also have Bluetooth. I will at some point use my AirPods that I use rather than just standard headphones. Then you got your proprietary charger for Microsoft, and then you've got 2 USB 4 Thunderbolts, and then there's your on switch there. Right, so we'll put that just to the side. Let's see what else we get inside. Right, so this is just your, looks like, user information guide. Yeah, so it's just about your product itself, what each function is there. Also, the front facing camera does Windows Hello as well, so it uses your face's recognition to log you in, which I actually like the idea of. It seems quite secure, so no one's going to look like me, or at least I hope they're not. So I'll just put that back in there. And then here you got your little power block for the Surface Pro. It's a proprietary, so but you can charge the Surface Pro via the USB-C. But Microsoft does say that it is better to use the proprietary connector rather than charging it via USB-C, because it says it's a lot quicker. So let's get this off. So that's quite a long cord. As you can see, it's quite long, which is good, especially if you're working on a desk. I'm just working on my dining room table here, so excuse some of the mess on here. Some of it's my kids' stuff and others are Christmas stuff for the kids, because obviously we just had Christmas. And then you've got your nice little power cord to plug into the wall socket, and on there you've got, on this side, a USB-A, so you can plug in say your mobile phone to charge. You can't use that as a USB-A to the computer to, say, your USB memory sticks. You have to use a USB-C and a USB-C to USB-A converter. So that will go back in there. And pop that down there just for the moment. Right, so with this, I decided to get what you should really purchase when you buy a Surface Pro, which is the Surface Pro Signature Keyboard. This also has the docking part for the Slim Pen 2. So when you put it in there, it charges it for you. And then you've got your little pull tag here to undo it, to open it all up. This is made from Alcantara, which is actually supposed to be quite a nice surface to work with. No pun intended there. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this is all like. So if we give it a little jiggle. As you can see, there's the keyboard there. Looks quite smart. Little tag there just to put out. And that is literally all you get with it. So this only works with the Surface Pro and the Surface X. So you can't simply use any of your devices if you've had a previous Surface, because they just simply won't connect and work. You can use Bluetooth keyboards obviously, and that is different. But as you can see, it slots in the bottom there. Oh, and then just slots in. And it's like that. On here you've got your kickstand, which pulls out. They have actually got rid of this time the memory card reader that was on the other Surfaces, which to be honest doesn't really bother me that much. I'm actually quite happy as it is. As a device that you're using for portability, I wouldn't actually want more connections, because then you lose the thinness of the actual Surface Pro, which I think how it looks really nice and thin. And as you can see, just around here on the bezels, you've got your fans, or the airflow for the CPU processor, or CPU's processor, hard drive and everything like that. So it keeps it all nice and cool. And underneath the kickstand, you can, here using a SIM unlock tool, pop this off, and underneath is a little M2 drive. It's a square, so it's about that sort of size, and you can replace this up to, at the moment, 1 terabyte. I'm going to say you might be able to upgrade to 2 terabyte, but at the moment you can't. So when this is all out like that, it looks quite nice and sturdy. And you can bring this down, and that actually feels quite resistant to typing. So when you're typing away, it actually feels quite nice. So if I was doing my usual bit of typing that I would on a keyboard, I don't feel like it's too springy. I don't feel like it bends or flexes too much, which, for something like this, you expect premium, but you just don't know what to expect until you actually see it. And it feels quite nice to type on. And then also with this, when you pull this out, obviously as I said, you've got your Slim Pen 2 charging port there, which is magnetic, it just slots in. But you can also have the keyboard lower down as well, which I think with this, because of how the bezels are, they've kept it quite nice and small with the bezels on the sides here. I'd prefer it up like that, and it gives you that little bit of an arch so you're not sloped down. Right, so I'm going to disconnect the keyboard for a minute, because I have brought some accessories other than the keyboard. Because when you purchase something like this, you want to protect it as much as possible, so it costs enough. What I've got here is, I've got this, it's called Moco, and it's literally a bumper for the Surface Pro, and it also works with the keyboard, so you can keep everything all nice and clean and tidy. Mind you, I've never put this on, so you've got a nice little handle, so you could put your hand in there while you've got the Surface up. And that space there is for the kickstand, which is what I wanted. I wanted to be able to use the kickstand that is with the Surface Pro without compromising on using a kickstand that comes with a case. Because if you've got the kickstand with the case, you haven't got the flex to expand it as much as what the Pro stand uses. Which, you know, when you're going to be starting to do digital artwork and everything like that, you want to be able to have that flex. So there we go. Everything I've got here I will put in the comments section. And I think somewhere, I did see it on one side, you've got a bit where you can attach the keyboard there. So when you close it all up, that keeps the keyboard all nice in and safe and smooth. So let's give that a try. So then that slots in like that. Yeah, that slots over like that. That actually looks really nice. I like that. And you can still access your buttons there. Get a little bit of dust on it already. Yeah, that feels alright. Let's see how easy it is to get the stands out. Well, there we go. There's a little groove there, if you can see it, which allows you to take the stand out nice and smoothly. And that, if I flip that back over, that actually looks alright. I think that looks quite smart, neat and tidy, thus enabling me to protect this as much as possible from your daily knocks and bumps and everything. It feels, it's a little bit sort of rigid here, you know, a little bit flexible, I mean not rigid, which you probably kind of expect from the type of material it is, but I mean, I'm not probably going to be dropping this anytime soon because I'm very careful with my equipment, but you just never know, especially when you've got kids running around. They drive you crazy, but I love them. Right, so we'll keep that to the side. On to my next accessory, which if you're going anywhere around in your daily life and commute, you want a nice bag to protect it. And this is a TomTok 360, they call them. So let's have a look inside. I will post all links what I purchased today and how much they all cost. Right, so you got on the front here, you got little pockets, so you can put all your accessories in. So in this section, I would probably put the charger. Move that out of the way. And then this section, when I looked on Amazon, because I got the accessories from Amazon, and I brought the Surface Pro from Curry's. So in here you got a little bit for a pen. You probably just put a normal ballpoint pen, and you can put something else in there. So yeah, I mean probably headphones I'd put in there. And then to the meat of it all, where you protect the Surface Pro itself, is this nice little smooth bit here. Let's do that pocket up. So your little slipper pocket in there. Let's see if this all fits in nicely and snug. So that's what I really wanted to do, is just fit in there nice and snug and protect it as much as possible. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit because it's a little bit tight. It's first time use. But yeah, that fits in really nice. I actually really like that. Feels quite capable of protecting the Surface Pro as much as possible. So, right. Let's take this out, because this video won't be anything without the actual device. So we'll put that back to the side there. And then also I brought one more thing, is a USB Thunderbolt 3 to HDMI. This also, it says here somewhere, where did I see it? It does 4K. That might be on the Amazon description, but oh no, here we go. 4K hits 60 Hertz. So you can plug that into your 4K TV. This will display at 4K 30. But the nice thing is, with Thunderbolt 4, which these have, and you have two of, you can plug in an external GPU, so you would be able to do heavier gaming on this. Maybe not necessarily at 4K, depends on the graphics card you get, but I think this would pretty much handle anything you throw at it with the external GPU. The onboard GPU, you'd probably be able to do minor gaming, sort of games from the Xbox 360 era on PC, so games like Dead Space, The Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, and games like that. Right, okay, so my next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give this some power, and I'm going to get this all set up. And then we'll see what it's like. In a later video, once everything's all up and running, I will do some light gaming on it. And we'll see what that is like. Just trying to avoid all my cables and all the toys that are everywhere. Right, so where did I put the other port? There it is. Right, so that obviously just sits in there. It's a figure of 8 cable. A little bit of a power there, so you could hear it was all connecting in fine. And this is a magnetic, so it's like the Apple Macs, what they use. So MacBooks, MacBook Pros, and that just sits in like so. And as you can see there, there's little indicators to say that it is charging. Right, that fits in quite nice. Fits in nice with the case. I mean, I guess you can flip that around depending on which way you want it. Let's try it. So he says, this is me now struggling. Yeah, so you can plug it either way, which is nice. You know, that means then it's like your iPhone Lightning connector or whatever device you have as a phone. They're generally like reversible, so it's quite nice. Right, so let's see what this is like powering on and speed wise. I'm going to do the login updates and everything like that, but I will skip them so you don't have the boring details of it all, so then we get quite quickly into the workings of the Surface Pro. So then you've got your power rocker up here. And there you go, it's powering up. That actually looks quite sweet, quite smooth. I don't know how up to date this is going to be. It's running Windows 11, which is the newest operating system by Microsoft. Quite a lot of PCs are capable of running that at the moment via a free upgrade from Windows 10. But this came already installed with Windows 11. And as you can see here on the keyboard, you can change the brightness, which I like quite bright screen. So we just wait a moment. And I'm generally impressed with the purchase of this. The quality, the feel of it. You can get all these other tablets that are a lot cheaper, Windows tablets, but they just don't feel the same as what the Surface Pro is like. Wow, that's pretty bright actually. Let's turn that down. Need sunglasses otherwise. Right, so I'm here in the UK, so I'm going to select UK as my keyboard. So I'm going to have my region as United Kingdom. Yep, back through United Kingdom. Now, I don't want to add a second keyboard because this is my only language, my only thing I know. Right, so I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi. I know my code off by heart. So that's all connected. So we'll click next. So this is the bit that's going to take the longest, which I will show you now a few updates, and then I will cut this out the video so that it'll get to the end of the update, so then it gets to the Windows Hello and everything like that, so you can see how that works, but not all the Windows updates. So we accept some more of the user agreements. So I'm just going to call this Phil Pro because that's my name. So I'll just call it Phil Pro 8. Can't contain only no more than 15 characters, no spaces. Okay, so I didn't realise that. That's me being silly. Right. So, right, okay, so it's just a moment again. I'm guessing this will ask for all my Windows credentials that I use for my Hotmail account. I will type that in and then cut quite a lot of it out so you don't see that. But yeah, as you can see, it's loading up again. These are good fun, aren't they? Waiting for updates. Almost feel like you spend a lifetime waiting for them to update. But I'm really impressed with the quality of the display. It does look nice. So it's spinning around, waiting for it to load. So I'm going to sign into my Microsoft account now. So this is the face recognition, so let's use that. Right, okay, that's got me. So this, you create your own PIN. I mean, I'm not going to use my laptop stuff to be synced on here. I'm going to set this up as a new device. Go on them to use my location. Let's turn that on just in case it ever does go missing. I normally say no to that sort of stuff. No, we don't want anything like that. Nope, don't want that. So I want as much of me as possible, but I don't want any junk. Do I want to watch videos? I'm going to do spot of gaming on it. I work, so I'll be able to take notes and do stuff. Okay. So let's see, this is all the OneDrive stuff. Right, so this is saying Office 365 apps. I'm not going to try it because as where I part my work, I actually have an Office 365 subscription license. So I can sign into the app later on with my work ID. And here we go, checking for more updates again. That's now restarting. Oh, hi. Not restarting, it's logging in now. It'll be up and running in a minute. Which I'm actually looking forward to looking at. But in the meantime, we'll just sit here, wait to see how long this takes. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. I've never set up Windows 11 from blank like this, because on my laptop I've got a gaming rig and I upgraded that to Windows 11 when I was able to. Unlike my old gaming PC, that doesn't support Windows 11 because it doesn't support TPM 2.0 or Secure Boot. But you can create your own version of Windows 11 without those, and it does work. But Microsoft says you shouldn't do that because you might not necessarily get any more Windows updates. I don't know how true that is, but leave that to everyone else to try. Sorry, taking a quick drink there. It's all plugged in, so we don't need to worry about that. But it just feels really nice and steady. I love the 13-inch screen on this. So when I used the Surface Go, I don't know what size screen that was, but it did feel a little bit too small. As you can see, this is now all loaded. The only thing I'd probably talk about now is the screen itself, because this runs at 60 Hz by default, but the screen itself can run at 120 Hz. So you have to change that manually. It doesn't set it by default. And not only that, the battery life does get drained more because of how much it's refreshing and how much the quality is. But Microsoft do say that the 60 Hz is better for conserving battery, and only turn it on if you're going to be doing lots of drawing and digital art, which at some point I will be. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, so I want to try this and see what it's like when I can get the Surface Pen 2, and then show my drawings off at some point. But that's a lot and a long time away on that. Right, so let's see. So right click on the desktop, display settings. So the brightness is probably nearly 3/4 of the way up, and it has HDR there. And the resolution is 2880 by 1920. Obviously you can scale it down to 1920 by 1080. So I think that's 3K on here, I think it was, I've heard. And you can obviously, with Thunderbolt 4, and this is backwards compatible with Thunderbolt 3 and lower, so you can use older Thunderbolt devices. This is only a Thunderbolt 3, not Thunderbolt 4. Now I will connect that to an external monitor to see what that's like. So under Advanced Display, you see here, I'm going to use the 120 Hz because what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be playing quite a lot of Football Manager on this, and I think that would benefit from using that. So I'm going to keep changes. I mean, the mouse is quite responsive, so there's less lag on it, so it looks quite nice. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and like my channel. If there's anything you'd like me to show on the Surface Pro, I will do whatever I can, as long as I have the necessary tools or the software to show you. Thank you for listening.